Eddie Alvarez making his BKFC debut, the Underground King against Chad Mendes, a sort of dream fight, if you will. Never fought in MMA, and Eddie prevailed. And what a freaking fight it was! I mean, all 10 minutes of the action, fantastic. They were worth every single penny that they paid him, and then some, if you ask me. Let's talk to Eddie Alvarez about his first experience in the BKFC ring. Eddie, thank you so much for doing this. I have to ask you off the bat, how are you feeling after your first BKFC fight? Can you hear me?
Feeling swollen. I'm not terrible on my hand. Yeah, it's breaking a little bit here and there.
Okay, can you hear me now?
It's like you're pausing and stuff.
Now can you hear me?
Is that? Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, let's see. Maybe it buffered up. So you're telling me you're swollen?
Just my hands are swollen, but I don't think anything's broken because I can move like that. I got some few cuts in my eyebrow, but I don't know that, nothing structural. Like, I'm golden, man. I'm ready. Once this swelling goes down, ready to get in again.
Uh,
Just get it again.
like injury wise and experience wise, gruesome wise, like was this what you expected?
It's what I expected. I expected, and I told you, I think I told you, I told other people, um, I seen this as less harmful than MMA. And when people see our faces after the fight, or see fighters' faces, or see our hands, they go, "Oh man, this is all superficial. Like, this will be gone within 10 days or 2 weeks. My eye will be gone within 10 days or 2 weeks. There's nothing structural. I'm ready to go." And on top of that, the camp was like not nearly as strenuous as an MMA camp. So, yeah, a lot of cuts, a lot of superficial stuff that goes on, a lot of swelling, but hell of an experience.
You enjoyed it. Would that be fair to say?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, I did. And as dangerous as Chad is, I just I don't know. I feel like once he put me down, it kind of reminded me, hey, you're in a fight, and you got to be on your P's and Q's, and it's really you're so present because of any shot inside of there. It's a dogfight. Any shot, like any one of us can get each other in there. It's really that's what makes it so exciting. One shot can end everything, and you got 2 minutes, and you get a minute rest. Like, I don't know. I think the way the rules are set and the way how much time you fight really makes it for like an action packed fight from top to bottom.
Oh, it was amazing. And I saw in the post-fight press conference, you talked about the 5-minute rounds in MMA, and you're like, we're kind of used to this, but people don't realize just how insane it is to fight for 5 minutes. Would you say, like, after experiencing this, you're like, oh, this is so much better, even though you're getting punched like bare-knuckle and all that, so much better, right?
It was like a snack, yeah, because the rest ratio in MMA, I think is, what, you fight 5 minutes, you get a minute rest, like 20%. Is that the ratio?
Yeah.
So like here, it's damn near 50% and 100%. Like, you're getting a whole minute rest just for 2 minutes to work. When I go back out there, when I went back out there, every round I was fresh as a daisy, as if it was round one again. So what that allows, it allows me to keep myself safe. Number one, allows me to listen to my coaches clear and fight like at a high intensity that the fans want. So like, you're getting a fresh guy, fresh athlete every single round, not someone who's dying out, gassed out. Like, I don't know. I just think having fighters who are fresh and energetic and not fatigued, it prevents a lot of really bad things from happening.
You have fought all over the world for every promotion under the sun. I'm just wondering, like on Saturday, at any point in the back, in the locker room, in the hotel, were you like, what the hell am I about to do? What have I gotten myself into? Like, did you ever doubt this decision because of how crazy it seems from afar, bare knuckle fighting?
No, I'd be lying to you to say I didn't feel like that every fight.
Hmm.
Every fight, I have same fears and anxieties that fighters have in the hotel room the night before. All that. bad imaging, bad visualization, like something bad could happen to me. That goes on no matter where I fight. It could be boxing. I could be racing someone tomorrow, and my competitiveness just that that's what happens to me. It doesn't matter. I don't look at bare knuckle as anything less more dangerous than anything else I did. It's this shit is all dangerous, all of it. MMA, boxing, bare, it's all dangerous. You can't take one and go, that's more dangerous. They're all fucking dangerous, like
Mm.
really dangerous. So as long as you cope with that and say you're okay with that, then you can move forward and compete at a high level. If you try to go against that and be like, oh man, this one is more, no, it's not. This is all dangerous.
What a fight it was, though. Like both you guys rocked each other, big shots, went the distance. At any point, were you worried that he might stop you? Were you ever like seriously dazed at any point?
I was I made friends with that before I went inside the cage. I never thought he I never thought I'd go out. So I really like the rules where you can get knocked down and get up as many times as you can. That's me. That's my style. That's what I've done my whole career. I've made friends with being knocked down. There was a point in my career where I was trying to resist it and say, "Hey, how can I get more defensive to not get knocked down?" And just said, "Oh, fuck it. I get knocked down. I don't know. It happens to me." So I get knocked down. I get my standing eight. I get a little rest and I get right back in it. I'm fine with getting knocked down. And I said that in the lead up to the fight. Chad's probably going to put me down. I'm okay with that. I'm going to get up and I'll continue to fight until I put him down. So, like, I don't know. I think, especially in this sport, there's just so small margin for error. To go in there thinking you're going to have a false victory is just silly.
Mm.
It's silly because you got to know I'm going to get cut. I'm going to get punched. I'm probably going to get dropped. I got to keep my focus. I got to land my combination, stick to my game plan, and get after my guy. Like, you're going to take damage. This sport in particular, bare knuckle, it's for the dogs of this sport. It's not for the athletes. The athletes don't belong in bare knuckle. It's the dogs of this sport who belong in this arena.
What an endorsement that is. And just curious, like, you know, you're going back and forth with this guy. I'm assuming you expected something like that, as you just alluded to. You get to the end. I had no idea how they were going to score this. What did you think? Yeah, split decision you get, and I think you said in the presser you would have been okay with a draw. What were you thinking in your mind?
Yeah, I was fine with a draw. I think when I go back and watch the fight, I think the fifth round won me the fight. I got after him pretty good in the fifth, but we were even the whole time. Like Chad's a fucking cannon, man. He's a beast, and I would have been totally fine with a draw. If they called a draw, I'd be like, great. It would have been as equally as a great night as if they gave me a win. I always think when I go in there, my job isn't to win. It's not to win. Like, I've obsessed about winning my whole life, and it's not fun obsessing about winning. So, like, my job is to fight like a tireless champion, like a dog, and then have the fans go absolutely crazy. And if I can get that out of the fans, then I won. We all won. So, like, sometimes it's just about having that opponent to be able to get them fans to do that. And Chad was that opponent that night, to be able to win the fans.
Been a while since you last fought. Did you feel rusty at all in there?
No, and a lot of people talk about that, but I'm really aware of that. I haven't fought in a while, and all I do when I know that is I just put a lot of sparring rounds in. Like, I get that shit out of me in the camp.
Hmm.
I'm aware that I haven't fought in 2 years. Like, some people go, "Oh, you haven't?" No, I fight. I might not be doing it. I might not be making a walk, but I've been making that walk my whole life. It's not going to be like, "Oh, I'm scared of this moment." I've had that moment. It's more about just getting in the inside of the practice facility and training, and getting them sparring rounds in to find my timing again, find my speed again, find my combinations, and like That's all we did. We just put extra sparring rounds in, like a lot of rounds, a lot of guys. Me and Coach Mark Henry and Coach Ray Robinson, we went to foreign places inside of, like, we went to Jimmy Rivera's gym out in New Jersey. It's uncomfortable going to someone else's gym and sparring them. We made ourselves uncomfortable. Like, I got all that out of me during the training camp. So, like, little things that, or whatever people want to call it, I did that shit out of me, like, quickly in the training camp.
Your video froze from. Okay, now you're back. Um, what's interesting about that is you mentioned sparring a lot, and I don't often hear about people sparring before these. So how do you spar for bare knuckle? Obviously, you're wearing gloves, right? How big are the gloves that you're wearing?
Yeah, it's sparring gloves. I
Okay.
didn't, like, as far as the fight itself. So all my training I did was with no, just hand wraps.
Wow.
So all my mitt work, bag work, shadow boxing, anything outside of sparring was done without gloves. So I could find my speed, find my timing with no gloves at all, not having 12 ounce or 16 ounce on my hands. Because you need to find that. There's a weirdness to having nothing.
Right.
Um, so all my training went to that. Sparring, in order to stay safe and make it to the fight, we wear 16-ounce sparring gloves. And what I was told by people who, already fought, Jimmy Rivera and a few other guys, was, hey, it's a boxing match. Treat it like a boxing match. There's going to be some weird nuances in the clinch because you're allowed to hold the head, and they don't break it up in a clinch. That's the only difference and weirdness to it, is there's a small cage and there's a clinch that goes on, and you need to be aware that they're not going to stop the action in the clinch. It's going to continue to go. And that's one adjustment we made. And one other one was Coach Mark Henry made me fight inside of like maybe a 17-foot ring. It was like I sparred over at NPR, that's in my local town, and great gym, great coaches and everything there. But they have a small little ring off to the side, probably 15, 17 foot at best, and we sparred inside there. And you have to be high volume, you have to be eyes wide open, ready for action every single second of the round.
When did you realize that Conor McGregor was sitting in the front row?
um, I heard them say Conor McGregor's here. Like, I was in the back, kind of warming up, and I was just like, nah, like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, I don't. I'm like, maybe I just like am like hearing something or whatever. Then they called me out on deck in the back, and I'm like, they're like, you're next, so get on deck. So I'm backstage by myself. They separate my coaches from me and they leave, and they're like, ladies and gentlemen, Conor McGregor. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing here? But pretty awesome. I'm like, look, I already thought that this was going to be BKFC's coming out party, right?
Yeah.
Because of Perry, Luke, myself, Chad, like, just massive names. I already felt like the buzz and the press around it was huge. But then I just started seeing, Connor showed up, Kamaru Usman showed up, Gaethje, Cowboy. I'm like, holy shit! Like, now you got your fighters watching,
Right. Right.
and they're in attendance. So it's like huge event, monster event. And I feel like me and Chad, the biggest thing I can compare it to is when UFC had the Stephan Bonner, Forrest Griffin moment. Me and Chad just did that for BKFC, and I was happy to, because they gave me a platform and they gave me an opponent, and they it was really cool. And Dave Feldman, he's a local Philly guy, and I want to see Philly fucking win. I want to see us win.
And I want to talk to you about your future with them in a moment, but there was a great moment that was caught and kind of been passed around since on camera. At one
You there,
point,
buddy?
yeah, can you hear me or no? Hello, hello? What happened to our connection? Usually our connection with Eddie is tremendous. I don't know what happened. I think we lost him. Let's reconnect with Eddie. I don't know what happened. Usually the connection with Eddie is always. You're still there.
Hold on. Let me try something. Is it me? Hold on. Give me one.
Okay.
I'll get right with you.
All right. You guys let me know. And maybe you talk to him, Joe, back there, and let us know. Is he good now? Seems better.
I'm here.
All right, you're good. All right. Usually the connection with you is always great, so I don't know. Maybe it's the
It might have been maybe Wi-Fi. I think I'm good now.
This is perfect. This is perfect. So there was a moment that was caught on camera that has since been passed around. At one point in the fight, does Conor tell you to throw an uppercut and you throw the uppercut and land it? And then did you say thanks for that? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Could you hear him?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something common. And I guess it was just, I call it you're in the zone, right? So when you're in the zone, you're starting to feel yourself. And I think that's the moment I look for in every fight, is to be in the zone where I'm feeling myself, nothing else exists, and I'm just doing my thing. Well, I do that with Coach Mark Henry a lot, because Coach Mark Henry yells codes. And most of the time when you see me or any of my teammates in there, we're just doing what Mark Henry's telling us to do. He's yelling the codes. We do them. And oftentimes when I'm in sparring, Mark Henry will yell a code. It'll land clean. And as soon as it lands clean, I'll point to Mark and say, good call. Great call. That wasn't me. That was you. And I'm giving you the credit for what just happened. Well, Conor yelled it. He was yelling it for uppercut. And I was kind of recognizing that Chad was hitching. He was doing a little hitch before he came under. And Conor picked it up. And then he said, he was mentioning it as soon as he was against the cage. And as soon as he yelled uppercut, I got you. I see it. And then I landed, and I was like, good call. That's all. It was a good moment. He recognized it. I recognized it, and then that was that.
Do you think he was rooting for you?
I don't know, because someone said he was yelling shit for Chad too. So I'm like, I don't think he had a horse in the race. I think he just wanted to see a good fight, and he was recognizing. He just, recognizing some things that were going wrong and trying to coach guys. But for him, he's a winner in it, right? He beat both of us. He shows up with his fucking whiskey rich and doing this shit. And I'm like, good, man. I wish the best for everyone in this sport. It's a very difficult life. It's very difficult to make money. And when he has done what he's done for the sport and for himself and his family, I'm all for it, man. I have no animosity to any of my opponents. We're on this crazy, uncertain life of journey that it's difficult. And if you could do what he did, then fuck, I'm all for you. And him being there puts more attention on the promotion and myself and Chad and everybody competing, all the athletes.
Did you talk to him afterwards?
I didn't. I didn't have a chance to talk to him at all.
Okay.
We never really spoke after the New York fight. I spoke. I spoke. I think with Kavanaugh and his other coach. I'm friends with them, but Conor himself, I never really sat down and have a conversation with him. But I'd imagine he's a fucking great guy. I don't see anything. Most fighters that I know are just good people in general. It's hard to be successful and good at this sport without being humble and having a lot of really good character and attributes. It's hard.
Do you think he would be successful in BK?
Oh yeah. I think Conor's boxing's phenomenal. He's really rangy, awkwardly rangy. He's not tall, but his knuckles drag. He has really long reach for his size. And I think he'd do well. I think he'd do really well. And his team behind him, the guys, Owen Roddy.
Yeah, Owen Roddy.
And this boxing crew here, they're intelligent. They're smart. They pick up stuff. I think they do really well.
Could you imagine?
The clinch is a little different.
Right.
It's fucking junkyard dog shit. So the cleaner boxer doesn't always win in this sport.
Okay.
I've seen championship boxers get out dogged and beat up in the clinch and get knocked out or knocked down. So it's not always the cleaner, better boxer that prevails. But I think he'd do just fine.
Could you imagine McGregor Alvarez 2 in Bare-Knuckle?
I fucking love it. I'd love it.
Could you?
Bring it every day, all
Yeah,
day.
yeah. What a
Him
story that would
the,
be.
in the crowd was him. Cowboy was there. I lost the
Yeah.
cowboy. I'm like, shit, man. I got a lot of villains in the crowd here that got one over on me that I like to get back. So yeah, man. Anyone? I think I love the sport, and I think that it's had its coming out party right now with me and Chad's fight. It was amazing.
So we spoke to David Feldman earlier in the show. He told us, and correct me if this is inaccurate. You signed a one fight deal with an option, and the option is yours. If that's true, are you going to stick around?
Yeah, yeah. I think. I mean, Coach Mark Henry and myself are like we had so much fun with this camp, man. Like genuinely just focusing on one art. I felt like it's hard to feel like you're improving when you fight MMA. You do something twice a week. Do some jujitsu twice a week. You do some Muay Thai twice a week. Boxing. When you do something twice a week, it's like you're kind of just maintaining. You're not improving.
Hmm.
You do something once a week, it's like a hobby. So it's like you need to do something 3, 4, 5 times a week to get better and have a learning curve and improve. So like I felt like I knew boxing, I understood boxing, but I'm not fluid in boxing. And in order to become fluid in it, you have to train it every day. You got to train it every day with no other focus. Like, hey, I got to go to jujitsu, or I got to get better at wrestling. Like, there's so many arts that you have to perfect in MMA. It's like you don't really. It's really hard to get better quick. So this was fun. I felt like I was improving weekly, daily, and I don't know. I just a lot less wear and tear on my body. No wrestling, no kicking, no elbows, no knees. Like a lot less wear and tear.
So you're going to do it again.
Uh, I would bet I'm going to do it if they bring me the right opponent and we can negotiate a good price. We're probably doing it again. It's more about I only want to fight if fans really are fucking excited about who I'm fighting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just not fight. I don't want to fight if people don't give a shit about who I'm fighting. I'll just do what I'm doing here. I'll hang out, have coffee with my wife, we'll chill out. Just wait for a good call.
Is there a name out there that comes to mind that who would be available? Obviously, Connor would be great, but he's a UFC fighter. Is there a name out there that you think would sign and would get you excited?
Dude, and I mean, I feel like beating a dead horse, but like I think me and Nate Diaz in this
Oh my.
would be like, it'd be like, but he don't want to fight me. I'm convinced, and I don't know why. I have no clue why, but he will not fight me. And I'm like, hey, maybe this because like I won't take him down and beat him up because I think he's always concerned about wrestlers taking him down, or he thinks that's cheating in a fight if you take him down or kick him. Like so, like this is bare knuckle. Like
That'd be
I mean,
nuts.
this is all we're doing. I think me and Nate would be fucking beautiful. I think a rematch with Cowboy would be great. Um, Mike Perry's available. I mean, Mike Perry's the king of bare knuckle. Any one of these guys. I mean, just bring me a big fight that fans are excited about. That way, like competitively, I can wake up early and go to bed late. I just don't want to be involved in fights if I don't. My competitive spirit isn't there, and I'm just doing it for money. I don't. I
Mm.
have money. I have a great life. Um, I want to feel competitive. I want to be excited about who's in front of me.
Two last things, and to that point, um, I felt towards the end of one like you were kind of losing your soul a little bit. Like it felt, like competitive. I don't know if the names were exciting. I felt like on Saturday you refound that a little bit. Like you felt alive in there. Is this fair to say?
It's fair to say, and I think it just had more to do with just being in the United States
Yeah.
again and fighting in the United States, um, fighting in front of my family, my friends, people who are close to me, who've always watched me fight, and I felt like I was. I don't want to say disappointing them by going overseas, and yeah, I just felt like I need to be here for my fans and because my fans are here for me. They show up. They've always supported me. They believe in me, and I needed to do that back. I needed to say, all right, motherfuckers, you believe in me. Let's go. I'm coming. I'm going to come back to America and put on a big show for you. And that's all. That was just I needed that.
Speaking of which, I don't know if you know this, but when you fight, especially on Saturday, your wife is a big topic of conversation. She is very audible during the fight. Do you hear her as well?
James,
Oh no.
Ariel said you've been a big topic.
No, no, I don't. I have no problem with it. I'm very okay with the support, but a lot of fans were
listen, man, listen. That is my fucking chick. And if anybody has anything to say, go fuck themselves.
I don't want any smoke.
My wife's been watching me fight. We met each other when we were 15 years old. We have 4 children together. I'm her fucking guy, and if something happens to me, then now you can feel her pain and feel what she's feeling. She has my 4 children, man. She's my fucking ride or die. So like, she can't control what's going on, and her yelling or her screaming, that's how she feels, and I don't. It's genuine. So if you don't like it, deal with it. But it's fucking genuine.
And by the way, for the record, I have no problem with it. I just wanted to know if you can hear her during the fight.
Oh no, I hear, and so does everyone else.
Yes.
We all hear.
Yes, it's tremendous. Last thing for you. By the way, nice chain over there. Did they give that to you, or did you get that to yourself?
Well, it's another little gem I can hang in the back of me. Another gold belt. I don't get a belt, but I got this here.
That's amazing. One last thing. You would know about this. It's been a big topic. We talked about it at the top of the show. Francis Ngannou. Some people are saying he's screwing things up. He went out. He's going down the road less traveled. People are saying, I don't want to do business. I'm pulling offers. Chatri said he's pulling his offer. There's more to the story, blah, blah, blah. Have you been following the story? And do you agree that he's not doing things the right way? Or is it unfair to say that? Until this whole story unfolds and we know exactly what he's doing and for how much and what, is it unfair to say that he's screwing things up?
None of us know the conversations that are being had behind closed doors. None of us know it, right? So it's not it'd be ignorant enough to say he's fucking up, because he could be having a conversation. Saudi Arabia could be bidding for him, 10, 20, 30 mil. That's a realistic number from that part of the world who are buying fighters and doing that thing. I do know, as a free agent, like I'm often a free agent, I do know it's not intelligent to sit too long. You get cold. And when you do that, you kind of it's like bird in the hand. So like when you start getting offers, you got to make a decision. You do have to make a decision at some point. You can't sit too long, because you just get colder as the market goes. Like, people think, oh, they don't, we don't want them, let them sit around. And now that you lose your leverage, because other promotions think, oh, nobody's bidding on them. Let me throw $1 million at them and see. So like, I don't know if he fucked up. We don't know. None of us do, because he could be having conversations behind closed doors and have contracts in hand right now, and he's just playing his cards and taking his time. I'm a big believer that when you're a free agent, rarely do you have enough money where you can just say no and sit and use your leverage. So take your time. Don't do anything hastily, like do anything too fast. But you do have to make a decision at some point. So we'll see. I mean, all he needs is one big fight, right?
Right.
If he comes out of this, one big fight for over 10, 20 million, then we were all wrong.
Right.
That's not unrealistic coming from Saudi Arabia or something like that. That's real money that's out there, that if you were a free agent, you would know. That kind of money's out there for a guy like that. 10, 20 million to put a big fight together in Saudi Arabia, that part of the world. It could be conversations he's having that we don't know about.
Great insight. Congratulations, Eddie. So happy for you. Well done. What a fight. You deserved all the love, all the money that you got. I mean, it was just all the praise. and happy to hear that you're going to, at least it seems like, keep on going. So heal up soon, and thank you as always for the time.
All right, awesome, Ariel.
You're the
I'll
man.
see you, brother.
All
Thank
right,
you.
there he is. Eddie Alvarez, the underground king, seems to have found a home in BKFC. He called Mike Perry the face of Bare-Knuckle. I called him the same.